Hi, I'm Nick Nanton, and welcome back to Success Today. My next guest says you should not listen to millionaires because they're just mediocre entrepreneurs. My next guest is Rafael Badziag, the billionaire magnate. Welcome to the show, Rafael.
Hi, nice meeting you here.
It's great to have you. So you have spent your career being successful, but you realize that there's another level of success beyond what everyone else strives for, and I'm fascinated to talk to you about it. You've written a book on it. You're a best-selling author. Tell me more, Rafael.
Well, let's start with who I am, right? I'm a serial entrepreneur, motivational writer and speaker. And I started in the 90s pioneering e-commerce in Europe. I developed the first online shop for bikes in German-speaking market. It became a multi-million-dollar company. Then I went into investing in internet projects and in digital assets. And the last 3 years, I've been traveling the world and meeting the most successful entrepreneurs in the world who accidentally also belong to the wealthiest people on the planet. And I'm writing a book about that, The $1 Billion Secret.
Great. So the $1 Billion Secret. So you're traveling the world, interviewing billionaires. What made you want to do that?
You know, after many years of hustle in my company, I became quite successful. I would say moderately successful. It became a multi-million-dollar company. But it was always a struggle. It was stressful. I knew people who started later, became a greater success. It looked much easier to do. And I didn't feel successful with that. And I realized there was something missing in my personality as an entrepreneur. I wanted to improve, and I started going to these self-development conferences, to these business seminars. And at one of the seminars, I was in this situation where people were high-fiving each other, enthusiastically shouting to each other, "You've got a millionaire mind." And it somehow didn't resonate with me, right? And I realized I was a millionaire myself already. So this wasn't a big deal, right? And I wanted to become better in business, right? And there are a lot of books about how millionaires think. And this is just mediocrity, because nowadays, being a millionaire as an entrepreneur, this is average. In the States, 1 in 20 people is a millionaire. It isn't a big deal to become a millionaire as an entrepreneur nowadays. I just wanted more. I wanted to improve, and I wanted to learn from the best people in business. And who are the best people in business? There is one objective measure of business success. It is the net worth, right? So the value you have created in your business career. So the most successful entrepreneurs are at the same time the wealthiest people on the planet or in the world. And we call them billionaires, billionaires with B. So at that conference, I realized I would rather have a billionaire mind instead of having a millionaire mind that I had already, right? And I had this crazy and seemingly impossible idea to interview some of the best entrepreneurs in the world in order to find out what in their personalities made them so extremely successful. And this is what the book is about.
Now, you interviewed, 20 billionaires for the book, is that right?
I have met 28 billionaires. Out of them, 25 are in the book.
That's great. And so we talked a little bit before, and you said you don't think that's ever been done before. Tell me about how hard that was, or maybe some of the experience.
The project itself is a big success already, because if you look at the numbers, in the world, on average, 1 in 5 million people is a billionaire. To meet a billionaire on the street by chance, it's similar probability to winning the main pot at the national lottery, to meet 1 billionaire. I have interviewed 28. So do you know anybody who won the pot in the national lottery for 28 times?
I do not.
Probably not. It's mathematically impossible. Nevertheless, I managed to do that. It has never been done in the history. Nobody challenged himself to do that, or nobody dared to do that. I did it on a global scale for a book project. And so this is one of the things. And the other thing is what you learn from that. I mean, what I have learned from the billionaires. Around 1 year ago, I have the rough form of the billion-dollar secret. I have identified and codified 20 principles that made them so extremely successful, all of them. This is a common denominator of them. Those principles I call the billion-dollar secret. And I started to apply them in my company. But I was traveling most of the time for the project, so I applied only the soft principles, only the things about the communication, about how we deal with each other, with customers, how we approach problems, only the soft part. I didn't change any processes. I didn't change nothing in the structure of the company. Nevertheless, in the last year, I have doubled the revenue of my multi-million-dollar company, and I have tripled the profit. So the principles work in business, right?
Absolutely. Now, you know, it reminds me much of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, right? He was tasked to go interview the most successful people of the time, and he basically distilled down what they were doing that was working, and that book has been shared and revered by people for, decades and decades. It sounds a lot like that. So is your hope to help share these secrets with the rest of the world so they can...
Absolutely. So first of all, the difference between me and Napoleon Hill is I did it on a global scale. Yeah, because at that time it wasn't possible to travel that much, so he talked only to Americans. So I did it on a global scale. I compared different cultures, different world regions, different religions, industries, and also age groups, and distilled the common denominator of the mindsets. I analyzed their minds, their hearts, their souls, to answer this question: what makes them different from everybody else? And so this is the billion-dollar secret, and with that knowledge, this is really a unique knowledge of self-made billionaires. All the participants in my book are self-made billionaires.
That's a big distinction, by the way. They made it themselves. They didn't just inherit the money. They didn't win the lottery. They're self-made.
Exactly. So they went from 0 to billions in one lifespan. This is a knowledge that hasn't been available until now. And it will help the ambitious entrepreneurs around the world achieve outrageous success in their lives and, of course, make the world a better place. So I encourage the viewers to go to my website and to download the report, 3 Billionaire Misconceptions That Hold You Back. This would be a good starting point to change their attitude towards what is possible for them, and to see what they can achieve from the position they are in right now.
I love it. So they can go to the website. We have that up on the screen. They can download it for free. So that's awesome. You can go get free education. Now, before you go, I like to ask the smartest people that I meet one question, and it's this. What's the one thing that you'd encourage people to help them thrive no matter what economy we're in today? What if you had one piece of advice? I know there's way more than one thing, but what's one thing you would share?
So if I had to choose just one thing, just one message, I would say this: don't learn from millionaires. This is entrepreneurial mediocrity. Learn from the best in the world. Learn from the billionaires. And read my book. My book will give you the tools to achieve things that you deemed impossible, and forget everything you have heard about success until now. Because this will raise your game to a completely new level. That's my advice.
I love it. You heard it here first. Rafael Badziag, he says, do not listen to millionaires. Check out The Billionaire Secret. Thanks so much.
Thank you.